Hey guys, so this is Dr. Brent, and I was just hearing some awesome testimony. So we're gonna get a little video, and first I'm gonna have you introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Terry C.
So Terry, tell me what was life like before coming into the office?
Well, it was pretty rough. I had headaches pretty much every day. 3 to 5 times a week, I would have like a migraine type headache. The nausea, the just traumatic pain, just everything that you can imagine with a migraine.
And what was life like when these things happened?
Horrible, because I still had to work. Because in order to work, in order to have my insurance, I had to work.
Yeah.
And so my productivity at work was pretty low.
Yeah.
But thankfully they continued to work with me.
Yeah. But work really suffered.
But work suffered.
How was your at-home or social life?
At home, what social life?
Okay.
No social life. I would go to work. I would come home. I would try to do things, but by the time I got home, I was pretty well spent. I would typically crash by the time I got home.
So what were you doing just to survive? I know you were taking some medications. What did that look like?
They did try me on a couple of different medications, and Topamax, gabapentin. Gabapentin was pretty high, like 1,800 milligrams, and I think 3,200 milligrams is like the max, but nothing was working.
And the doctors couldn't ever figure out what was going on, right?
They could never figure out what was going on. They said that I had a hemiplegic migraine, which started everything, but then they also said that they found a syrinx like in the core of my spine, but they never would diagnose anything completely or...
Yeah, never gave you a real answer.
No, never gave me a real answer, just kept pushing me off.
Putting you on more drugs.
Putting me on more drugs, wanting to put me on more drugs, wanting to increase, and I was just like, this is not what I want.
Yeah, we want real solutions.
I wanted real solutions.
Now you're also having some issues with some neurological stuff like hands and feet. I remember you saying that you felt like you just couldn't use your legs.
Right. I felt like I was encased in concrete. The majority of the time, this is what I would tell people, and they would ask me, how I was feeling. I felt like I had, a case of the flu, a case of a sinus infection, all of that combined into one, but yet I felt like I was encased in concrete, like I couldn't hardly move my legs. Like I would have to focus on my brain telling my legs, my feet to move. Like, and just to get from one point A to point B, and just to go like literally, say 100 feet, I would be winded. I couldn't breathe. I would just, I would talk to people and they'd be like, "Are you okay?" Because you're just, you can't really, you're not breathing very well, and just that alone was difficult to manage. Don't want to go anywhere.
Well, you just feel terrible and you feel like you can't move, you get out of breath even just doing minor stuff. So now, no real solutions. Doctors want to put you on medications. So thank God we knew Trina, and so here's a little shout out to Trina. And she'd been telling you about the office for a while, I think, but she finally drug you in here, kicking and screaming, and you were kind of skeptical, weren't you?
I was very skeptical.
And you should be, because you went through some really pretty good doctors.
Right.
Fancy facilities, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. So now that you've been under care, now how have things been going?
I just have to say, it has been amazing. I've had 4 headaches in the last, 7 weeks now?
Yeah.
7 weeks, 4 headaches. And to not have a headache is just amazing. I mean, when I do get a headache now, it is just like, oh my goodness, how did I deal with a headache before? How did I work through these things?
Yeah.
How did I live through these things? Because they were awful. But I'm back to, you know, I love to create jewelry. I'm back to doing that again.
Yeah. Enjoying
I'm
life.
enjoying life. You know, I'm not back at 50% even yet, but I know I have hope.
Yes.
Before I came here, that day I came here, you know, honestly, I didn't have any hope.
Yeah.
And I think you knew that.
Yeah.
You know, I did not have any hope.
So,
But I have that now.
yeah,
So
because you've seen the potential of the body's ability to heal. So, you know, what we did was we found areas in her nerve system that were interfering with the expression of life, that were creating these symptoms. So we started to adjust her, and even after your first adjustment, I believe you said the headaches were gone.
yes.
And
Yeah.
I know that you've been walking better. I know that you're able to do more outside and activity-wise. You're not near as out of breath. Even just walking around the office, I can see a big difference.
No.
And
Yeah.
so, I mean, just in closing, tell me, like, so life before, scary, no hope. Now you can just tell she's way more full of life. She's excited to be here. She's actually smiling when she comes in, which is super awesome. But you just told me something amazing. You just had a checkup with your doctor, and he said that what he sees going on is absolutely incredible, and he can't explain it. There are no answers that they have.
Right.
But you've come off. What have you come off your medications wise?
The gabapentin, where
Yep.
I was taking 1,800 milligrams, I'm completely off.
Yes.
And the Topamax, I've cut down to a sixth of what I was taking. So
Yeah.
I am almost off of it, which I am, you know, those are two awful medications that, for, you know, I just couldn't take and
Yeah.
I didn't want to take. And he just, you know, I mean, he just says, whatever he's doing, tell him to keep doing it. So
Yeah, and I love to see that, because, you know, patients will come in and, you know, they've drug through that medical gauntlets, and, you know, they get no hope, no answers, no solutions, and they
Right.
come in and we start to remove interference, and the body starts to heal, and it's an amazing thing. So just thanks for sharing this, and I hope it helps
thank
to
you.
reach someone else that's in need, and hopes them come into an office and start to get solutions too. So.
yeah.
All right.
Just don't put it off.
Right.
Don't put it off.
Take action. Take control of your life.
Yeah.
Thanks.